Hello viewers, welcome to another exciting edition of the BD Extra Show on BD TV. My name is Anthony Udugba. Today we are having a guest here who's a seasoned professional in the music business. Welcome, Mr. Brown Marvin.
Hey, thank you so much for having me.
Hi, it's nice to get to meet you again.
Well, it's a pleasure, my brother.
Yeah, so how has it been? How's it been so far?
Everything's been cool.
Yeah.
We thank God.
Yes.
Everything's been okay.
Yeah, you know, from short story, like we met a couple of days ago and we're rebuttaling on, the music business and all of that. And I'm like, this guy needs to be here. He needs to educate us.
Yeah, it's crazy how we met at that event a few days ago.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's it. So we're here today to talk about this.
Yeah, thank you so much for honoring our invites.
Well, it's a pleasure. We always show up.
So let's talk about you. You are a seasoned professional in the music business, and you are a producer at Soundcity.
Yes.
One of Africa's most illustrious entertainment platform. And over the years, you've been in the music business for almost 10 years or more.
Yes, please.
And so tell us about your journey, how you started. You discussed something about being in Trace before. So just tell us a trajectory of your career in the music business so far, so our audience gets to know.
Okay, everything started, this is like about 2018, yes, 2017, 2018. Back then, when I used to be in Cameroon. It's just crazy because I used to work with this radio station called Nostalgie. Nostalgie was like a French radio station that was actually built in Cameroon. So from there, I actually left Nostalgie to Trace when Trace came into Africa newly, and that was in Cameroon. So I started with Trace Africa. I was like one of the youngest, TV producers, cinematographers. Back then, it was crazy.
I was age, sorry.
I was about, I think, that was like 17, 18 years old.
Wow.
I was really young.
Wow.
Just a young graduate that, just left the university and, was trying to, put ends together. But I was really good. I was really very good in what I was doing, because when I was young, I always wanted to be, that TV guy, So the passion was always there. So I started with Nostalgie. After Nostalgie, I went to Trace when Trace just fully came in. Yeah, I worked with Trace for a couple of years where I collaborated with a lot of artists. It's not even like I can start naming. There are a lot of them, a lot of them. Then after that, I had to relocate back to Nigeria, early years of 2019, where I started working with my current office now, Soundcity TV. And from Soundcity, that's where another chapter of progression came in, because at Soundcity, that was a period where the Afrobeats, was actually having a hype. Yeah. Collaborating with artists like P Square, Wizkid on their shows, on their events. It was really a great one. So it's just like, it's a process. It's been a process. I can't narrate everything because it's been a journey. Yeah.
So thank you for that. So let's rebuttal on. You just mentioned P Square and Wizkid. So tell us, how was it like working? Because you're a associate producer for a number of shows and all that. And while we were discussing, you mentioned about Wizkid Made in Lagos.
Yes.
So please tell us what it was like working as an associate producer.
Okay, working as an associate producer, Wizkid Made in Lagos was like an event put together by Soundcity, Soundcity TV, which Wizkid was like the headline artist. That event, I'm gonna say that's one of the craziest events that we've really had in Nigeria, because it was really crazy. The population, the number of people that came for that event, it was really, really crazy. So as an associate producer, what you do more is like, make sure that the events, the venue, the cameras, everything, it's actually well set for production. Then also the calls for the upcoming artists that are going to like open, the shows, and just making sure that everything, you know, works out well in the realm of the production.
So while doing that, you work basically with the management of these artists?
Sure. These are events that were organized by Soundcity, which is the company where I work with.
Okay.
So it means the management, we already like have some kind of communications with them.
So we need to know, what are the things that are being looked into when live shows? There's a lot that happens behind the scenes in live events.
Yes.
Please tell us what it is like when you are in discussions pre-events, during the event, and basically post-event. What is it like for you? Like, what has the conversation been like, and what is
the most important thing when you actually first of all think of an event is the venue.
Okay.
You should be sure that your venue is ready. Then after the venue, you should be thinking also of like a headline artist. Headline artist who can actually pull up, you know, a massive crowd, which that was the whole original idea of the Wizkid Made, because at that period in time, Wizkid was that artist who was actually giving it, you know, very hot internationally, and he was one of the biggest artists back then. So having Wizkid to headline that kind of a show, it was really not too much to put, like when it comes to in terms of, you know, communication or personal message, because this guy already was someone that once you just do a little publicity of, you know, that kind of event, automatically his fans are ready to, you know, millions of people are ready to attend. As I'm saying, this show was one of the most craziest shows. Like the populations, it was crazy. It was crazy. So everything, when it comes to putting on the event together, you know, the venue has to be ready, making sure that the team, you know, everybody, the camera people, the locations, the lights. So generally, it's just making sure that everything is set for the day of the shoot.
So let's talk about the cost of promoting artists when it comes to live events. What is it like in the Nigerian music space? How is it like what's the cost like in, you know, organizing events, promoting, and also the venue? As you said, you mentioned the venue is also part of it. What's the cost?
Looking at promoting an event or promoting an artist for a live event in Nigeria, cost-wise is really very expensive, because if you're looking at an event that is going to sell, you should be looking at a venue that is accessible. That's the most important thing, because if your choice of venue is very, very important. If the venue is somewhere where people it'll be difficult for people to access, that's already a problem. Secondly, when it comes to who is actually lining the show, is it an artist who has some kind of fan base, or is it an artist who is still like upcoming? Because nowadays it's very expensive to actually put events or, you know, live performances out there, because not every artist who is probably an upcoming or who doesn't have a record label, you can't just wake up one morning and say you want to put on a live event, because it's a lot of money when it comes to getting the locations, getting the right equipment, the sound, and also, you know, the cameras or the media that is going to come and, you know, cover the event. It goes into a lot of costs. It's not something that you just wake up one morning and say you want to start doing. You should be sure that you have partners. You should be sure that you have sponsors that will come and at least help you with the funds, so you can actually be able to, you know, put up a show. So
we're talking about this, and you know, the likes of Wizkid, Burna Boy, Rema, they're all having events outside of the country, and they are our boys, they are our people. But we are not seeing that sort of energy in the summer. You know, it's summertime. A lot of people are trying to get their groove on and going for concerts, going for festivals and all of that. We don't have that here in Nigeria. Basically, we only have that towards the end of the year.
Towards the end of the year.
The dirty December-ish, which has tried to be like a form of a culture now. We're taking it seriously right now. But if I would say for the younger artists, for the upcoming artists, what can be done for these people to maximize, you know, when there's an absence of big artists who cannot perform during the summer, or who might not even see that kind of buzz during the Dirty December period, what do you think can be done in terms of having the younger or the upcoming artists or the emerging artists? How can they leverage all of this, and how can producers also help?
For instance, I'm gonna get this. You see, right now, Afrobeat has gone so big that our actors are very expensive.
Yeah,
that's one thing. It's very difficult to get an artist right now to headline an event, because once you call the artist for an event or whatever, the kind of prizes, you know, the kind of money that they're calling, it's not everybody that can actually pay, you know, that kind of funds. And also looking at the economy of a country and everything, people really don't invest into things like that again. So they just wait for some kind of particular moment when they know that a lot of people, you know, like for instance, the December period is the best period because you know a lot of people are coming in for the date of December. That's when you see a lot of shows coming back to back. And that's the problem, because if the actors are not being able to bring down their prices, it's going to be very difficult. The upcoming ones, every business person who wants to do an event is to make money. So there's no way I'm going to invest so much money into an event that I'm not going to make it back. Because when it comes to putting an event together, you need to, as I said, location, you need to have a whole full team that's working. You need to have the media come. You need to do publicity, you need to, and you have to pay the actors. So if the actors is asking you $1 million, are you sure you're going to get back that $1 million? That's the thing. So show promoters right now are in some kind of situation where they can't actually, you know, pay this kind of money because the actors are demanding so much. And also, you will want to do a show with an artist that can make, you know, bring back, you know, let it be rentable. You're not doing a show with an artist that you wouldn't be able to sell tickets. Like, few events have come up and they've not happened because tickets were not sold or sponsors have pulled out. So if you are looking to put in a show now, you are thinking twice. It's not something that you just stand and say, hey, I want to do a show and I want to put in actors together. You should be able to also sell, you know, sell the venues. Out there, those people that have the culture of paying actors because they have the money. But now the industry is not the way we see, like the way we feel. For instance, you will see actors nowadays making millions of streams online, but they're not making money. They are not making money. Like if you look at Spotify or the other app, music distribution, Apple Music and everything, for an artist in Nigeria to have about 1 million streams, he gets back just $300, which is no money. So if he can make that kind of money from Nigeria, what's his target? Cross-marketing, looking at, you know, international. That's why you see all our big celebrities, all our big actors are out there, from the likes of Burna, from the likes of David, Wizkid. You can name them. They are out there back to back, you know, giving big shows there, because those people that have the budget, they have the money that actually, you know, can actually do those kind of levels of events back to back. But in Africa, how many show promoters can really say, okay, I'm gonna pay you 500 million, I'm gonna pay this person 500 million, I'm gonna pay. And at the end of the day, you make that money back. It's very, very difficult. It's very, very difficult. So yeah.
So the challenge basically is they are not sure these artists can pull in the numbers that they need to recoup the money that they're going to spend on this artist and all
on this event. Because yeah, at the end of the day, I've seen a lot of show promoters get into some kind of situation, like probably, you know, depressed after a show because they've not really they've invested so much money, you know, they've invested so much money that at the end of the day, I worked on this production, I'm not really gonna call the name of the show producer, where this man, he spent about $2 million when it comes to, he spent about $2 million when it comes to, you know, headlining actors. We had big names on that event. I'm not gonna call it like, it's gonna be like an anonymous thing. We got big headliners But at the end of the day, he was kind of depressed.
Oh.
He couldn't actually smile like for about a week. Because for him, it was like, how will I put so much money and I can get it back? That was because the show, not everybody has that money. For instance, if you say a Wizkid is doing an event where the tickets starts from probably $1 million, depending on the tables, and you know, let's say the normal regular tickets is about 50K or 30K, 25K. Well, some people can afford it, but not everybody, because looking also at the economy right now, things are really kind of tight. So it's going to be very difficult for you to actually get, and if you want to do that kind of event, that kind of live performance with an A-list artist, you should be looking at a good location. And when you look at a good location, a specific location, you're looking at how much it's a lot of money, like probably Eco Convention Center, or are you looking at Eco Atlantic? Or so when you start naming those locations, those are not cheap locations. Those are locations for headliners. So if you are sure that you're gonna like pull in that kind of location, and the sponsors are gonna come in, and at the end of the day, every person that comes to actually push or sponsor an event is because he needs to gain something from it. But at the end of the day, if he doesn't get back what he's putting in, it becomes a whole issue. So it's very crazy. We should look in at probably the actors, they can be affordable so that we can have a lot of events coming up in the country, because, well, it's a good thing you guys are, you know, putting stadiums, like, you know, big halls out there. But when it comes back to your country, it becomes a whole big issue because the fans can't afford. You understand? The fans, they can't afford it. They can't. So
because I key in with you on that, because last year we had shows, you know, ranging from 150K to 200K, and we have, like, you know, we can't, some people don't afford the table.
Definitely, some people will not. Some people can't afford those kind of tickets. It's terrible, because that's the thing. You don't know how much the show promoter, the event promoter, has paid the headline artist. You don't know. The only thing that most times saves them is that there are a lot of artists, you know, coming out from the industry right now. A lot of them can be available to open, you know, the shows and everything. So it's kind of like, but still, are you sure that you're gonna make back the money? So why don't you wait for a specific period where you know that by this time the country is gonna be, you know, there's gonna be a lot of people coming in. That's gonna be like the easiest way for you to, you know, maximize it, because there's a lot of funds coming into the country. There are a lot of people coming into the country who will be ready to pay
those kind of
whatsoever to attend those kind of, you know, events.
Now let's talk about music management. I see you've brought into music management for a while now.
Yes.
So can you briefly tell us how it's been for you personally before we now move into the business of music management? So how has it been?
Okay, for me personally, when I actually started working with actors in the term as a media attaché, at some point in time, I felt like, okay, I shouldn't just be involved in the media aspect. I should also involve myself into management too, because from the periods of time that I've been with the artists, I've learned a lot of things, a lot of skills in management. And I also decide now to become a talent manager. So most times I can listen to an artist and I feel like, oh, this artist is promising. And I can, you know, get in touch with the artist. Most times they get in touch with me to actually help them on their projects, if probably they're dropping their projects. And in a conversation, you can just chip in like, hey, okay, I'm looking for a manager and I want you, and yeah, fine. If I'm free to actually, you know, work with you as a manager, then fine. If I'm not free, then I'll probably, you know, tell you that I have so and so person you can actually reach out to work with. But personally, I've worked with promising actors. Her name is Jola Music. She is a very great, very great actress. Even though it's still been the process of, you know, making her get to some kind of level. But she's doing very well in the market, in the business.
Yeah, so let's quickly move to what is trending in the Nigerian music space. Going to the top albums, on the Nigerian charts, and we used to turntable charts. They're very credible, reliable people in terms of data. And this is what we kind of lacking in the industry. The lack of data has made us to forget history.
Sure.
So getting this data, available data, tells us a lot about what new guys in town and what they're trying to do to make us out there better. And we have the likes of Olamide. Olamide's album, according to turntable data, did 13,000 album units during the week in 2020 and all that. So what is your thoughts about the album?
Man, this album, I'm gonna say this album is sick. I was opportune to be there at the listening party, the release.
Wow.
So it was a moment of getting to listen to good music.
I think the album party was like a moment in itself.
It was a moment. The caliber of people who were there, the music industry and the media, it was really crazy. Like Olamide has never disappointed. Like that's someone that I know that he's very good in managing artists, putting them together as a record label boss, and he is also super good in making music in a row. So this album, I give it a 10 over 10.
Wow.
To be honest, I give it a 10 over 10.
Wow. So we have like the likes of Shako Deluxe and did 3,000 album units. It's number 3 on the album list in Nigeria. We have the likes of Davido's 5 on 4th. Let's talk about Davido's 5.
Davido's 5, man. I was really opportune as well when he was wanting to drop the album. Before he even came out, we were opportune because he came into the studio and we had like a chat, and he made us listen to the album. And bro, David is David. David is that kind of person that any kind of sound he actually falls in. I don't know how to explain it, but this guy has something that any kind of music, any kind of collaboration, he kills it. From the collaboration with Omale, that's the biggest track that we have right now in Africa, no cap, to the one he did with Victoria Monet. So David is someone that has always, been in that top level. And him being for more than a decade, he's still giving us back to back. So for me, that album is crazy. I also give it a 10 over 10.
Wow.
Yeah, man. It's crazy.
Awuke to me is like my best song in the album. I don't know why. I don't know. Like
Awuke is a good track. It's a very good track, but I feel it would have actually done better. Yeah, it would have actually done better.
Yeah, so the reason why I say it's a good track is basically because as we discussed the day we met, I told you something about Nigerian music not having enough. There's no danceable songs like
sure.
In the late 90s and the early 2000s, where there was always a dance pattern to each
track
song that comes out here. But not now. It's like vibe. Yeah, the music is good.
You're just vibing, but it's not like danceable.
It's not like danceable, and there's no. So Davido on his previous album was trying to do this whole. Let's get a dance for this particular hit song, and it's a strategic move by Davido. Do now in the social media space, when you post these things online, everybody wants to copy along. Then you now give maybe a trend or maybe a task to what are you calling them to the fans, and say, oh, let's do this a challenge. Challenge. So we can do like an Awuke challenge and say, okay, let's do this, and your song is going up on different platforms. TikTok.
The more you do the contents,
exactly. So basically, I think that's what it is. That's what makes that song a good one for me. We have Uncle K Lemon Case. They did 2,500 album units during the week. We had Children of Africa EP. Please tell us about this album by Sheyi Vibes.
Sheyi Vibes, this guy, that's also one person who doesn't disappoint. Sheyi has actually had an ascension, which he has kept it original, the street vibe, making sure that he gives. The album didn't have a lot of hit tracks, but there are a couple of tracks that actually, stood out to that Sheyi Vibes. And this is Sheyi Vibes. You understand? So Sheyi is someone who is good. He's on that level where sometimes he goes down and sometimes he comes up.
I think in this album he went a little bit slow on this album.
Yeah, he went.
A couple of songs that I'm like, I might listen to Sheyi Vibes right now.
well, that's the good thing. Most times when you work with international records or you have management, they will always want you to actually do something different from what you always. It's a good thing. An artist has to be versatile. An artist doesn't have to always be in a one direction where everybody knows that. You have to bring in something new. That's when people respect you as a whole round artist. So that was Sheyi Vibes, just bringing us another side of him that we couldn't actually, expect. Yeah.
So moving on. We have The Machine Is Coming by
Big Kala.
So tell us about the whole thing with Big Kala and Odumodu Black, really, and Blackbone. What's it about?
Well. For me, as an industry person, I'll always say that all this backlash thing, well, we know it's the push music.
Okay.
Because there's no way you guys did a track, like, it's not even how long.
Wow.
And where is the beef coming from?
Yeah.
I don't understand. Are you just trying to do something that you're going to be on the headlines where people are going to Big Kala, and you're announcing. Just tell us that you're announcing your project.
Exactly.
Let's know that you're announcing your project.
Yeah, and he said something about.
You guys should stop telling us about like the beef and what's the beef. There's no beef. I just know that it's a strategy to push an upcoming project.
And he also mentioned something about like his the hip hop genre and how his song Declan Rice was in the past 20 years was the biggest song, or the song with the cultural appeal
that brought the hip hop music back. Well, I agree with him, but not 100%. Declan Rice really brought that hip hop thing back, but not like the way he's saying it. It was a very great track that had a lot of international appraisal. And which was a good thing for him because he's been in the industry for a long time. Some people don't even know Odumodu has been for a long time. So that track was also like a revelation for him, bringing him out there, making people know that there's this guy, Odumodu Big Kala.
Yeah, but going back to the years, we see that there are some songs, because when you talk about the cultural relevance and cultural appeal to people locally, I feel like there are some other sounds or songs that have come before it and say, oh, this song basically ruled at the time. Like,
definitely, that's why I said Declan Rice was a good track at some level, but not as he is saying that it changed hip hop. No. It's not possible.
So let's look at Mariah, which comes in next. It had like 1,900 album units during the week. What do you think about the album so far? Like, it's a long time it's out, but then again, it's still doing numbers.
Well, it's not like a bad blood, but for me, I feel like Wizkid, Mariah, when he dropped it, it was something that actually, I didn't actually feel this album for me. Personally, I didn't feel Mariah. I didn't actually feel it. The fact I was actually waiting for something more special from what, the hype that he actually, put in putting out the album. I didn't even listen to, till today, I've not listened to the album.
Whole album?
Yeah, the complete album.
Lungu Boy also did like the same numbers too. What do you think about Lungu Boy?
Oh, Lungu Boy.
By Ashake.
Well, Ashake has actually gotten some kind of decline from where we know Ashake like 2 years ago. He has always been in that position. Probably, I don't know, probably it's because of a change of management or it's probably the new management are really not doing it the way they have to do it. But Lungu Boy hasn't, for me, I'm not moved. I'm not moved by the numbers that he is pulling right now, because this guy could pull more than this.
Yeah.
We know that Ashake, he was a cultural phenomenon like 2 years ago.
Yeah.
He could pull 3 times this. So I just see a decline from Ashake's side.
So let me bring Rema into this conversation, because I think he had a show recently, and during the show he brought in like the 3 mannequins that had the Burna Boy, Davido, Wizkid, and he's calling himself the
big
part
four.
of the big 4. And you know, this is a conversation that people talk about. So let me hear from your own point. At least I need to hear from your own point of view what you think about his claim about the big 4, because his numbers are actually good, if you ask me.
Well, for the numbers, Rema is a superb talented artist. Like, give him his flowers.
Yeah.
Give Rema his flowers. For that, we can't actually dispute it. But Rema calling himself a big 4, he's not yet. Because it's impact. Do you understand? When we talk about the big 3, David, Wizkid, Burna, these are people who have impacted. Do you understand? Their impact is very visible. Rema, for me, he has had a lot of international, breakthrough tracks. He's been doing super good with the massive work that Mavins is putting behind his projects and everything. I was opportune to have like a one-on-one talk with Tega some time ago, where he was actually showing us the kind of budgets that they put behind, artists like Aresta and Rema to get them to that level. It's crazy.
Is it getting into billions of naira?
It's more than billions. We're talking about millions of dollars.
Wow.
So this is not something, but for Rema to call himself a big 4, he's not yet. He's not yet at that level to call himself a big 4. He still has a long way to go. These guys have been in the industry for decades. So we've seen what they've done. There's no year that an artist like David or Wizkid or Burna has not given us a project that speaks very loud. So if you want to call yourself a big 4, you should be able to, get to that level. He's big internationally wise, but now what is a Rema can't actually pull some kind of, it's not crowd, but someone like Rema, he hasn't gotten to that level yet that we can call him a big 4.
Yeah, but
there are a lot of artists like, then what are you going to say about artists like Olamide?
Yeah, Olamide is gold standard.
Olamide it's not even someone that we should even be trying to say he's even a big 4, a big 5, or big. Do you understand? There are a lot of artists that are are doing very good from about a decade right now. Where are you gonna put them? Are you gonna what are you gonna say about Wande Cole? Where are you gonna put him? So those are artists that have gotten to some kind of realm that Rema hasn't gotten yet. To call himself a big 4.
So you mean in terms of impact, right?
In terms of impact. He hasn't impacted yet that level to call himself a big 4. Because, for instance, if he didn't have an artist like Selena Gomez, who is super big in the Latina, like she's a billionaire right now. That's to tell you how super big she is out there.
And her fan base.
And her fan base. So if you don't have that kind of actors, if he didn't have that kind of actors like Selena on his Countdown remix, I'm not sure that Countdown remix would have given him those billions of streams that he had. So that was already the impact, and that was where Countdown was that track that brought Rema from the level where he was as a superstar to where he is right now. From that track, he exploded. That was one of the biggest tracks sometime in the world. where everywhere in India, in every continent, Australia, everybody was crazy about that track. But now the impact, who was that person? Selena Gomez. She was that person that gave that impact, that leverage to that song to get super big because of her fan base. And you know the Latinas, they don't play. Those people, they're pulling in crazy numbers when it comes to their state.
You see what Bad Bunny is doing?
Sure.
Yeah.
So when you look at those kind of artists, when you collaborate with those kind of artists, what are you expecting? The turnout will be massive. So once you have that kind of massive turnout, it means it increases your popularity, it increases your aura, it increases a lot of things. So what do? What you do now is to try and meet up. After that, which of his tracks has given you that kind of numbers again? So that's when you see, oh, that's an artist who had an opportunity to have someone to impact, a song he did to bring him to some kind of levels. Because only that track alone, he did a lot of shows around the world. He even went to India.
Yeah.
He pulled out a crazy crowd because of that track alone. So if it wasn't that track, he wouldn't actually be going, those kind of places to pull those kind of millions of crowds that he was pulling. So that's the impact. You need to be an artist that you've impacted the people. You've had a fan base. How many people are the Rivers? How many people are the Rivers? Like his fan base, they call them the Rivers. How many of them are they? But if you want to call the FC, you know it. Yeah. If you want to call the 30 BG, you know it. So that's it. You need to already have that kind of level where you will call yourself, once you get to that point, it's going to be very obvious. Nobody's going to dispute it. When you say you've gotten to that level where you are a big four, we say yes, you are.
Yeah. So the time is running fast spent now, but I need to ask you about what do you think this industry needs, to further. This is the final question, actually. So, what do you think the industry needs right away, from basically a policy side point of view to just to get investments back into the country in mass? So, what do you think from the government side or from private investors? Do you think private and government should come together? What is your own take on the industry going forward?
Well, the industry, I really don't think the government even needs to come into the industry. Like the music industry has been sustaining the country, entertainment in general. That's what has been sustaining the country. Like for instance, the numbers are very clear. Look at what the kind of money that dated December, just at the December period. Look at the kind of budget that like Lagos State alone had for dated December. So you see that the music industry, the entertainment industry in the whole doesn't even need the government. They don't need the government because it's a very lucrative industry. There's a lot of money in music. There's a lot of money in entertainment. So the stakeholders, they just need to make sure that we have a lot of these events, probably, talking to the artists, to making them understand that they can try and, bring down their prices for bookings because it's crazy. Right now, you see there's a decline from the Afrobeats because a lot of Nigerian artists don't get booked again because of how much they charge for bookings. So it's just that part for me that I feel like, the stakeholders, the music stakeholders can be able to educate the artists on trying to be affordable. Because the more they're affordable, the more we have a lot of events happening. And the more, we make money. The more the state will make money, the more the artists will make money, the more the show promoters will make money, the more the media as well will make money because they're gonna have content to put out there. So yeah.
Yeah, that's really amazing to speak with you because it's like I'm taking it in. I'm like, oh, I'm the government. I need to go do this right now. Or I'm a private investor. I need to go do this right now. But so definitely, I feel this is this what you said about that is something that needs to be put in place. There've been a lot of controversies about how we don't get enough shows anymore because that's where the money is, apart from streaming.
That's where the money is.
Yeah, we don't know exactly.
Because if you are not actually directing your music, like cross-marketing your music, for instance, as I said, if you have 1 million, a Nigerian artist, for him to have 1 million streams on Spotify, he gets just $300. That's no money. So now, if you're making that kind of small money and you're not getting shows, how are you gonna make money? You can't actually get to any point in your life as an artist. So we need to make sure that there's little things, like we need to have a lot of shows coming up. But now, the shows are gonna come if we have good headliners, because the fans are gonna go out because they're going out for a particular artist who is actually, making buzz. They wanna go for those shows. But now, how are they gonna go if the tickets are expensive? The show promoter wants to make his money back. That becomes a whole big issue. So are we gonna wait till December before we should be able to have back-to-back events, which is not even gonna be for us, because this is gonna be for those people who are coming from outside. Because they can afford them.
But we can't.
But we, the people that consume the music every day, can we afford those shows? I'm not sure.
Well, it's a lesson for everybody and all that, and this is why we have shows like this to help people to understand where we are at not just about the whole vibe of music, but about the business of it and where and what we can do to make it more to make it good. And thank you so much, Brown, for coming to our studios today to help us.
It's a pleasure.
Yeah.
It's a pleasure, Anthony.
Yeah. So I would like to have you here again so we can talk more, because I know that there are more from where this came from.
Sure, definitely. There's a lot of topics that we can really touch.
Yeah. So thank you so much. Yeah. And to our viewers, thank you for sticking with us, and definitely would like to get to know your views, comments, like, share, and just do what you do as fans of BusinessDay TV. Thank you so much for watching. This is where we end the show. Goodbye.